Do it for me. Oh, Lord, if you don't do it, it just won't. Come on in, family. Come on in, friends. Come on in. Do it for me. Come on in. Go ahead and tag someone. Go ahead and share. Fix it for me. In the name of Jesus. Oh, fix it for me. Oh, thank you, Jesus. Because Lord, I have a problem that only you can solve. Come on in. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Wisdom Wednesday. Welcome, welcome. Lord, I need you to do it right now. I can't wait till tomorrow. Do it for me. You just want me to. In the name of Jesus. Listen. Lord, fix it for me. Anybody know God can do it? Oh, Jesus. Hallelujah, Jesus. Come on in. Welcome to Wisdom Wednesday. If you tag somebody, they don't come on right now. Listen, they can come on. They can catch the replay. They can catch the replay. Blessings to you all. In the name of Jesus. Welcome. 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 Welcome to Wisdom Wednesday. Thank you for those of you who have joined me, tuned in, who constantly support. Thank you. I won't be before you long. I do have some nuggets that I want to share with you on this evening. Listen, let me just start off by telling you that you are not alone. Okay? You are not alone. Many individuals are going through things, some in silence, some have been verbalized. I mean, some you can actually see. But I want to encourage you where you are right now. I want to speak to your spirit. I want to speak to your weariness. I want to speak to your doubt. I want to speak to your frustration. I want to speak to your wanting to give up. I want to speak to your inadequacy. I want to speak to your inferiority. I want to speak to your low self-esteem. I want to speak to your peer pressure. I want to speak to that no that you receive and constantly have been receiving. I want to speak to those doors that seem to keep closing. I want to speak to the people that have left or continue to leave your life. I want to speak to that little boy. I want to speak to that little girl. I want you to understand this. Not only are you not alone, but listen here. Help is not on the way. Help is here. You are not by yourself. Many are depressed. I want to speak to that. Many are going through mental illnesses. I want to speak to that. Listen, no longer do you have to feel that you have to battle in silence, that you have to measure up to someone else, that you're inadequate because you haven't reached this or it doesn't look like that. Stop comparing yourself to other people. Stop looking and wishing and coveting over what others have. You don't know what individuals are going through. And just because it looks one way, it may be another. Do you understand? Many individuals are going through at this particular time. I'm talking about it is test at the test, at the trial, at the trial, at the but listen, even while you are going through, and I know I say this and I say it continuously because many people are falling prey to not only fear, to doubt, to frustration, to just giving up. Some people are having suicidal ideations. Listen, let me tell you something. No matter what storm you may be in right now, until he comes to see about you, because he's coming, until then, pray like never before. You don't have to pray like Sister Sarah. You don't have to pray like Brother Johnny. You don't have to pray like Renee. You don't have to pray like Tom. Pray like God has put in your spirit, whatever the words he has laid upon your heart. That's what you pray. Many a times it's because you haven't opened your mouth and you have not asked and you have not sought a thing and you have not made your request known to God, that you will still remain in the same place. Or if you open your mouth, you've said the wrong thing. Many of us are where we are because of what we have said. Words are powerful. The trajectory of your life, a lot of it started with your mouth. You want God to fix your unbelief, you need to start speaking what thus said the word. What does the word say? You want him to fix your unbelief? Well, you need to start believing what you're saying out of your mouth. You need to make sure that your words line up to what he says. Listen, we're going to go through. I don't listen in my toughest battles, in the things that I may be currently going in. Listen, I cannot allow distractions to keep me unfocused. That's what they are for. And you can be your own distraction. Ooh, you can be your own distraction by taking your eye off of what God has told you to keep your eye on, by speaking contrary to what the word says, by your thought patterns not lining up to what he says, until he comes, because he's coming to see about you. I want to encourage you to speak life, speak joy. I want you to keep your mind and your focus on him. I want you to sound out all the noise that may be around you, because all the noise is what's keeping you where you are. You are so focused on social media, what social media is saying and what social media don't listen. People can lie and have all these different things that some people put up just on social media, just because they want to feel a certain way. They want to look a certain way. They dealing with insecurities or different things that they may be battling with. I don't care how old they are. I know people that's 50, 60, 70 years old that's still battling little girl and little boy things that they haven't given up, that they haven't sought help for, that they keep running from, and so they keep going in cycles. Listen, healing is a process. Deliverance is a process. You have to work at those things, and you can't always cover stuff up. Until you do what you're supposed to do, you will continue to be bound in your head, in your comings, in your goings. You're going to continue to try to measure up to everybody else. Listen, a lot of us have been traumatized, have had heartbreaks, have been done wrong. Many people are going through afflictions in the body, have been molested, have been raped, whatever. Everybody has a story, but your story continues. There are many people who have dealt with traumatic things, but you cannot let that guide your life, and you keep continuing to hold on to things. You cannot. While you were in your storm, while you were waiting on the Lord, until then, you need to be doing some things. You need to be declaring your healing. You need to be declaring and decreeing your peace of mind. You need to be declaring and decreeing your freedom. Some of you are in bondage because of self. Some of you like being in bondage because that's what you're familiar with. But it's time out. It's time out. And why is it time out? It's time out because we have children that have been raised up in a world full of sin, full of self-righteous people, full of individuals who are just thinking about themselves. They 40, 50, 30 years old and dealing with insecurities. Oh, if I do this, this is going to make me feel better. Or if I say this or hang around these people, this is going to make me feel better. If I do this to myself, this is going to make me feel better. And at the end of the day, it doesn't. What will make you feel better is dealing with those inadequacies that you have buried. What'll make you feel better is you aligning yourself with God and know that you're fearfully, wonderfully made. Know that before you was formed in your mother's womb, He knew you. He knew what you was going to go through. He knew what you was going to be. But it's up to you to work that word out. I've never seen, and it's so disheartening in this hour, have how you have, and I'm talking about the believers, people, individuals who've taken and accepted Jesus to be their Lord and Savior, but you're so busy in self, you're so busy trying to get self gratification, you're so busy in identity loss, you're in identity crisis that you don't know who you are, and you still talking about the same stuff that you've been talking about the last few years. Until then, until you do what you're supposed to do, God ain't gonna come see about you. But while you're waiting for Him to come see about you, that until then, while you're waiting, do the things that you need to do to build yourself, to increase your capacity. He's not gonna give a new if you're not doing new things. New things cannot go into old things. It doesn't have the capacity to hold it. You're requesting new. You're asking God for new, but you're still acting old. You're still sounding old. You're still doing the same thing. You're going in a cycle. He's told you exactly what to do, but you're not listening and you're not following the instructions, so the cycle continues. And then when all hell breaks loose, is well this and I didn't this. No, you can fool man, but you cannot fool God. Get you together. He wants to do it for us. He wants to listen. He wants to meet our needs. He wants to do and meet our requests. But the Bible tells us to commit your ways into Him, and He will give you the desires of your heart. You cannot want all of these things and all of these desires for Him to do all this for you, and you give Him nothing. It don't work that way. It don't work that way. Many are losing their lives and they're going to hell. I don't care if they got all these titles. I don't care if they've been in the church 55 years. They've been through all the auxiliaries. Listen, let me tell you something. If that heart is not right, if we do not align ourselves with the word of God, hell will be the resting place. I don't care what it looks like. And this is another thing. We got to stop putting people in the heaven, and we got to stop putting people in the hells, because we don't have nothing to do with where no one goes. We got to pay attention to what we're doing so we can go to the place that we want to go or desire to go. Stop putting your mouth on people. Do what you're supposed to do. I ain't never seen a generation of grown people seek after and run after, titles, and run after wanting to be called and boasting themselves up and wanting to be this and that and the other. Listen, that's not going to get you anywhere. Then you wondering why you getting thrown from every storm and every wind, because you're not grounded. Why are you waiting for him to do it? Do what you're supposed to do. Why are you waiting for him to come and see about you? Do what you are supposed to do. I want to encourage you. Don't die in your storm. Don't give up in your storm. Don't you fret in your storm. Don't be throwing arrows at other people while you're going through. That's another thing. So many, you can't be putting your mouth on people and doing things and try to mess up, tear up their character and a lot of the other things that you may be doing or have done, because we will reap those things. You understand? We will. But I am just, oh my God, I want to start a win. But even when it looks like we're losing, that's just like in a boxing match. What is it? They got nine rounds. One of the individuals, they may start off looking like they're gonna win. The other one just getting beat down. But listen, by the time that 7th, 8th, and 9th round come, the one who we may have thought was gonna win doesn't. Because winning is predetermined about so many different things. And just because it may look like you start off losing, the race is not given to the swift, but to those who endure to the end. So endure. Endure well, my sister. Endure well, my brother. What you are going through is making you stronger. Allow the season that you may be in to make you, not to break you, to increase you and not to decrease you, to strengthen you and not to make you weak. Until he comes, until help comes. Until then, pray, fast, trust, believe that he's going to do it just like he said. God bless you. I hope I've said something that encourages you, that causes you to get up, dust yourself off, and try it again and again and again and again. Blessings to you. Thank you for joining me for another Wisdom Wednesday. And Lord willing, I'll see you next time.